Emily worked as a waitress in one of the city's most popular cafes. The city was famous for its charming atmosphere, but the most important thing for Emily was to offer a warm welcome to the people in this cafe every day. Many of her customers would choose this cafe for a coffee or a meal after a busy day at work. Emily's favorite moments were when she had the opportunity to chat a little more with each customer. One morning, a random customer came into the cafe and made an introduction that would change Emily's life forever. This customer was the famous singer, Taylor Swift. One morning, an ordinary customer at the cafe offered Emily a chance to make a life-changing introduction. That morning, there was the usual crowd in the cafe. Some people wanted to get their breakfast. Others wanted to start the day with a cup of coffee. As Emily continued to take her order, suddenly the door opened and a very well-known woman walked in. The woman looked around quickly, tilted her head a little, took a deep breath, and calmly began to look for a table. Emily immediately realized who the woman was. She didn't judge anyone she didn't know, but this woman's identity was instantly recognizable. At that moment, Emily's heart began to race. The woman was the famous singer, Taylor Swift. Having grown up with music and knowing her songs by heart, Emily knew that Taylor was a celebrity, but she couldn't contain the excitement of the moment. Nevertheless, he tried not to show it outwardly and kept his cool. Taylor was alone in the cafe and looked quite tired. She glanced at the tables for a few seconds, then calmly sat down at the corner table by the window. When Emily saw Taylor sitting down, she quickly approached her table. "Welcome. How can I help you?" she asked, her voice gentle and sincere. It was her usual careful approach to customers as a waitress. Taylor smiled slightly, nodding tiredly. "A coffee, please, and the lightest sandwich on the menu. I need some relaxation after a long trip," she said. As Emily took the order, she realized that from what Taylor had said, the woman had indeed had a long journey. She thought about how challenging that must be in the life of a star. "Sure, I'll bring it right over," she said, as she quickly took the order and headed for the kitchen. Emily backed away carefully so as not to disturb Taylor too much, but as always, she remained sincere. Soon afterward, as Emily returned with the order, Taylor was deep in thought by the window. Emily approached her, remembering that she was not just a famous artist, but a human being. At that moment, a feeling came over her. He thought that Taylor might be struggling with the loneliness of always having to be in the public eye. She felt that Taylor needed some inner peace, that everyone around her expected something from her. "Make yourself comfortable, and let me know if anything happens," Emily said as she put her coffee and sandwich on the table. Taylor noticed Emily's sincere approach, and for a brief moment, there was a look of surprise in her eyes. She had not expected such a sincere approach. "Thank you," she said, and added a small smile. "I am ready to help you whenever you need me," Emily said, still with a slight smile, and left him. As Emily continued to serve customers in the cafe for several hours, she realized what Taylor had been thinking during her time at her table. She believed that while sometimes, from outside observation, celebrities don't seem lonely, they too need people and understanding. This brief but meaningful interaction had increased Emily's respect for Taylor in her inner world. Taylor, on the other hand, felt calmer and a little more relaxed after this warm welcome at the cafe. As Emily brought her order, she saw Taylor alone by the window, deep in thought. Suddenly, Emily had a feeling. She thought about how lonely this famous star was and how difficult it can be to be under people's expectations all the time. As she brought Taylor her coffee and sandwich, she took a slightly different approach, saying, "Make yourself comfortable and let me know if anything happens." Taylor, a little surprised, recognized Emily's sincerity and smiled. After sitting in the cafe for a while, Taylor quickly got up and hurried out of the cafe. However, Emily realized that Taylor had left a jacket on her table. She quickly grabbed her jacket and caught Taylor outside. "Excuse me, I think this is your jacket, she said. Taylor smiled slightly. Oh, thank you. Sometimes I forget these things. I can be hectic. Taylor smiled slightly. Sometimes helping people can be good for us and good for them, Emily replied. Taylor nodded. Yes, absolutely. That's really kind of you, Taylor said, nodding. A week later, when Emily came to the cafe, another customer entered the cafe. But this time, it was a little different. An assistant walked up to Emily and started talking to her. Hi, Emily. My name is Emma. I'm Taylor Swift's manager. Taylor would like to get in touch with you, she said. Emily shook her head in confusion and said, Taylor Swift? But why? She asked. Emma said, Taylor is very impressed with your demeanor in your cafe and the way you approach people. She would like to offer you an opportunity. Would you like to take part in one of her advertising campaigns? Emily was silent for a few seconds in astonishment. Then she rubbed her eyes and said, Really? Emma said, Yes, very true. Taylor really appreciates your sincere approach, Emma added. After Emily accepted Taylor's offer, her life changed rapidly. They met at Taylor's office to shoot the campaign. It's so good to have you here, Emily, Taylor said. The campaign was themed True Beauty, and the goal was to focus not only on people's outer beauty, but also on their inner world. Emily immediately connected and agreed to the project. In the first shoot, Emily walked in front of the camera in her natural state, walking through the park. The team tried to capture her inner light and sincere smile. There's a sincerity in your gaze, Taylor said. This campaign made me feel valued, Emily said, emphasizing her inner sense of beauty. On the second day, portraits were taken that reflected Emily's inner world. The camera tried to capture Emily's confidence and naturalness. You are beautiful just the way you are, Taylor said. Emily embraced the message of the campaign, saying, True beauty is on the inside. The campaign was a big hit. Emily's natural demeanor and sincere approach left a strong impression on viewers. Taylor appreciated Emily's sincerity, saying, True beauty comes from within. Emily showed growth not only in her career, but also spiritually. The campaign was a success, and Emily became not just a waitress, but someone who knew how to add value to people. Taylor and Emily developed a strong friendship, and Emily transformed her life by discovering her inner beauty. A year later, when Emily and Taylor were side by side at an awards ceremony, Emily turned to Taylor and said, At first, it was just a small act of kindness, but it changed my life. And not just me, but other people felt it too. Sometimes when people are alone, they really just need someone. Taylor nodded with a smile. Yes, and that's why sincerity always wins. A good heart is the most powerful tool. This story shows how every small act of kindness, every sincere gesture, can change lives. Emily's simplicity and Taylor's careful perspective were the foundations of their friendship and the success of their business. If you liked this story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like the videos. Stay tuned for new content.